And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. That boy is muted. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, with the college football segment of episode 207 of the SplashCast, Monday Night Raw. Norwood, what were you saying?
I said, we back. We back. It was Hayden. I was being responsible. I didn't want y'all to hear me yelling at the top of my lungs the whole time. So, yeah, I muted myself. But we are back. We are black. And we are happy. How about that?
Yes, sir. We here with our college football segment of episode 207 of SplashCast. Please remember to like, follow, and subscribe. Let us know in the chat where you're from. Hit us with a subscribe as well.
And tell somebody about this
share.
wonderful podcast that these two black men have bestowed upon you. Where we support.
Road to 1,000 followers. Road to 1,000 followers, y'all. Let's get started, man. Top 25, top stories in the top 25. We normally go by conference, but this was a crazy week in football. You want to start? Let's start with Texas A&M for people that are still invested, I guess.
Yeah, divested.
Texas A&M
vested.
Texas A&M beats South Carolina. They survived South Carolina with the second half deficit, the largest second half comeback in the school's history. They were down 30-3 at halftime, and it looked like the score indicated. Texas A&M looked absolutely awful. They threw interception after interception, fumble after fumble, and then they go into halftime. And shout out to you, Shane Beamer. You look like a fool talking about we weren't celebrating, and they pulled out the receipts of you walking into talking about celebrating.
Don't look too good nor talk too wise. Let me tell you, because you look like a fool.
28.
I will say,
second half, 439 yards from Marcel Reed, 3 touchdowns. Crazy.
Being from Augusta and South Carolina only being 45 minutes away, this is a very game-cocky thing to do. I can't say that I'm surprised. It's always kind of been their thing, minus the women's basketball team, of just not really getting it done. And to go up 30-3, and it kept escalating at such a fast rate that I'm just watching it, and I'm like, oh, they scored again. They scored again. And you're in your head doing the math and looking at the time thinking, all right, well, they started up like 10-0. And people started like, whoa, what's South Carolina doing? And they went up again. And then next thing you know, it's literally 30-3 at its half. And you're like, okay, well, they have 27 points. It's no way that they can come back.
They were beating them so bad that we had to end the pot. We were doing Saturday Morning Live. Right. And I said, hey, South Carolina is up 20-3. They had that forced fumble, sack fumble, return for a touchdown, and then they hit Nick Harbor, who showed y'all that I run track, and track speed is different. And he at 6'5", 245 pounds, pulled away from everyone on an 80-yard touchdown. Lenora Sellers was wheeling and dealing, and Texas A&M just looked out of sorts. And then they went in. They got Michael Jordan's special juice, pause if necessary, from Space Jam, and the secret stuff is what it's called. And they came out and scored 28 straight points and win 31-30. They held South Carolina to under
Atlanta. I got a
yep.
I got Atlanta Hall.
And held scars and held South Carolina to under 150 yards in the second half. Texas A&M with this biggest comeback in A&M history keeps them at 10-0, squarely in the college football top 4 conversation, and ready to almost guarantees them, not guarantees, all but guarantees them a SEC championship appearance. But the crazy thing is, and I'll let you jump in here. The crazy thing is that nobody's talking about the game. They talked about the game for all of one day. And then we was talking about a bitch with a badge.
Best case scenario, honestly. That's really what you want. It's nothing better than winning and nobody paying attention. No microscope, no questions. Hey, what's the expectation next week? Oh, we got a football game. That's it. Now, what Reggie's referring to is the bitch with the badge, and I don't want to give this guy any more light because he's a terrible human who harasses college students. But I can't remember which person scores on this.
Nick Harbor, 80-yard touchdown.
Right. And the police officer decides to bump them as they're coming back out of the tunnel. He's going out of the tunnel. They actually are doing their best to avoid them because, of course, no reasonable human, and surely no black man is going to bump into a police officer. The police officer, even when the kids get skinny, he puts his arms out and purposely bumps them. Subsequently, they say he was relieved of his duties for this, I guess, for this position, and they would do some type of investigation. I want them to sue. He assaulted 3 college students. I want a settlement.
There's so much, and I'm a promise
or
y'all.
A fade. Settle him or give them each 5-minute fade.
I will promise you I will try my best not to go off for a long time. But he's a bitch with a badge, bro. There's plenty of reasons why he's a bitch with a badge. Nick Harbor is 6'5", 244 pounds. Number 27 is a running back who is 6'1", 230 pounds. The other receiver that chased Nick Harbor to see if he was okay is 6'2", 210 pounds. Somewhere in there, I think is what I read. You're a bitch with a badge because you wouldn't do any of that tough guy talk if there were no uniforms involved, right? Unless you had ill intent and you were there to try to shoot somebody, which makes you even a bigger bitch. You wouldn't have done any of that to those football players. They are all bigger than you, faster than you, stronger than you, everything.
Time out. I don't want to assume. Give him the fade. I don't know. You might be Billy Badass in a badge. Give him a fade. Or, yes, I want a settlement because we all watched, and I was truly like,
I put it in the group. I took a picture in the group. I said, hey, did y'all see that?
I'm slightly being facetious, but I'm also being honest here. That was traumatizing to watch. To think that in the year of 2025, in the middle of an SEC football game, with every 8K, 4K, HD camera, and 85,000 eyes, you think you can do this? That's a problem. A big
audacity.
Fucking problem. So, yes, pay those children. Pay those children's parents who had to watch their kids be accosted by a police officer while they're out being great students and representatives of their university. Yeah,
you were such a hoe that they even looked at you like, bro, what are you doing? But the fact is that Nick Harbor pulled his hand, he tweaked his hamstring.
Or let them fight you.
Right. But the fact is that he tweaked his hamstring, and that's why they went to go help him. And that you decided, because you weren't there, there was no reason for you to walk up to the tarmac. There was no reason for you to be there to do that. And then you go do that, man. If he is an actual policeman, because, you know, Texas A&M, as shout out, I'm going to quote Bomani Jones here. He said, you know, they got a whole fake army down there, and they have like fake police too. So, and band members that be like 35. So, like, they have a whole lot of people that just love Texas A&M. So I don't know if he's a real policeman or not. But I can tell you for one thing that this ain't the first time he's done that. The audacity to do it in front of all these people means if he is a policeman, he's done that 1,000 times before. Imagine if they did not have these uniforms on.
You don't want to know what that is the cop that you know we talk about. Hey, you don't want to get caught on dark road, that dude.
Yeah. Because he's mad because he got beat up as a you could tell he's just a hoe, man. He's just a hoe. He's a hoe. Now my last part is
let them children fight him.
Now my last part is I do appreciate all of the outrage from across the aisle. I think we saw LeBron and Chipper Jones. Chipper Jones called him a boy. Quoted him and called him a boy, which is
Lord,
as a Southern black man, is wildly ironic.
Please, Lord, please let Chipper Jones be an ally. I can't. I'll be hurt.
I think, yeah. But my point is, I appreciate all of the outspokenness for this.
I also don't think.
Over his.
I don't think that this is one of the things that you could not be on the side of. These are still kids.
Oh, well, okay. So
now, publicly, let me clarify that. Publicly, it's one of those things where if you're that bold, I love it because I appreciate when they identify themselves. But
that was my point. My point was I appreciate everybody stepping out for this because it's sports, cool. But I mean, this shit been happening at an egregious rate over the last 15 years, at an alarming rate over the last 60. So really 70 or 80, really since we've been here. So for y'all,
this is the specialty.
So I appreciate.
It's not even like a spectator or a fan. That guy is literally supposed to be there to protect those kids, and you bullying the kids.
And so my point, so my point is, I appreciate y'all with all of this concern. I hope that this is genuine concern for them being black children versus them being football players. Because I understand that they're football players, but if you care for them as black children, then you can no longer be silent about anybody else that gets shot by the police either. Because now you make yourself look like you only care about them because they're athletes, which is even a worse thing to me. This has been happening for a long time. I appreciate those that stepped out. Like I said, I hope y'all are true allies and not just fans of football. Because if this is the truth, it's time to hold them accountable. This shit has been put on Front Street. This is the shit we've been talking about for a long time.
Because this is the thing. Just like when and when we talk about this later, where Jamar Chase spit on what's his name? Oh, yeah. Had they whooped that police ass, they would have been like, "Oh, football players jump cop." Yeah, no, he kind of earned it. Sometimes you earn an ass whooping, and I think he earned it. But I mean, this game was too great. There were too many good things to go on in this game for that to be what we,
Texas A&M and Texas at the end of the season is now one of the most interesting games in the country.
No, it ain't. Not with Arch Manning. I hate to say it, bro. Bad. I don't trust him. You trust him?
He's not on my team.
I don't trust him. And I'll be honest, not that great to watch either. It's not like, I got to sit down and watch that Arch Manning game. Nah. I'd like to see Marcel Reed. I like to see Concepcion. But do I want to see
KC? You coming to Atlanta? So that was a good game. Texas A&M still's in there now. The upset of the day, had to make sure because there was a lot of games. The upset of the day: Oklahoma goes into Alabama, into Tuscaloosa, and beats the king of the SEC. You got to say Alabama for the last 20 years has essentially been the king of the SEC. And
yeah, but I feel like they've been more. I mean, everybody's been a little bit more normal since NIL. I think they kept him.
Saban left.
I think those
NIL they was about if Saban stayed.
I don't think
Ohio State wouldn't have none of them players. They'd all still be at Alabama.
Nah, they would still. We're not in a point anymore of you wouldn't get any of the players. You might not get all the players that you want.
Julian Saint transferred from Alabama. Caleb Downs transferred from Alabama. The starting center transferred from Alabama.
I agree with that point, but I'm also saying that just because of NIL, everything's a little bit more.
Yeah, you got to reprove your brand too. So it was a perfect crossroads. But still, that don't change the fact that you was the number 4 team in the nation. And y'all talking big trash about this revenge tour because everybody gave up from you against Florida State after y'all lost to Florida State, and y'all on a revenge tour, and to show everybody who y'all were. Oklahoma has quietly, not even quietly, they have come into the SEC and beaten Bama 2 years in a row. 2 years. Beat them at home last year. Beat them this year, 23-21. John Mateer looks good now that his hand seems to be healthy.
when he's healthy, is he the best quarterback in this conference?
No, I don't know because I hate to say it. We'll get to it. Your man over there.
Who?
Pew pew, pew 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 pew. The gunner, the gunner.
Oh hell no!
But we'll get there. But also before we move on, we can go to the UGA game. But before we move on, Brent. I said before we move on twice. Brent Venables.
You said we.
I said before we move on to the. I said before we move on. You gotta turn your volume up. You turned it down before. Brent Venables. We said you need to come here to be that guy to stop these high-powered offenses. Let me tell you, they are now going to be in the top 10 after trick bagging it off against Texas. Of course, Napier first game back. Other than that, man, they Oklahoma that defense looks really good. Really, and Ty Simpson, they had you flustered, bro. You would have thrown 3 picks if it wasn't for a stupid PI. Because you threw a pick 6, you threw a pick, and you almost threw one in.
Simpson's just not that good. Y'all talking about Heisman. Man, hell no. Hell no.
Giving it to over him. Who would you? I mean, the dude from Indiana. Gunner Stockton now. Ain't really.
This is a very lukewarm Heisman group. It's nothing here that I'm in love with.
Nobody stands out. Nobody stands out except for old boy from Indiana. What is it?
Mendoza? Maybe nope, Fernando. Yes, it is Fernando Mendoza. That's his name.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Maybe Marcel. I don't know. I'm not necessarily in love with any of these guys. Whoever wins, let's look and see who they have. They have currently Fernando Mendoza, number 1, 2,641 yards, 35 touchdowns, 5 rushing touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Number 2, you have Julian Sayin, 2,675 passing yards, 25 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Marcel Reed.
You're going to give that to him over Jeremiah Smith.
Marcel Reed, 2,632 yards, 28 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Gunner Stockton, 2,269 yards, 27 touchdowns, 8 rushing touchdowns, 3 interceptions. That is impressive. 27-3. That ain't. I don't got an answer for that. And then they have Jacob Rodriguez, linebacker for Texas Tech, 97 tackles, 1 sack, 7 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries, 6 pass deflections, 4 interceptions, 2 total touchdowns, 1 defense, 1 rushing. Did you had an offensive carry?
I was just about to say they just threw him in there because they needed somebody from the Big 12. No, I was wrong.
Right.
I was wrong. That boy kept going. That's his stat number 2.
Wait, there's more.
God, but so now Alabama, this game against Auburn, let me tell you, Auburn, you can save your season. You fired Hugh Freeze. You're trying to get people to stay. If y'all can beat Alabama and knock Alabama out of not only the SEC championship.
What's the name of the book that Obama wrote? The Audacity of
Audacity.
Must be dope. You crazy as hell. Why are you wasting?
You can't.
Reggie love to waste y'all time every week.
No, I don't. You can't say that about the rivalry weekend. Anything happens, you throw records out. Auburn has been terrible in one.
Hey, Kalen Dobert. Nick Saban will jump down because he's gonna be at that game. Because he gonna be there and he will whoop.
No, he won't. He's gonna be at Georgia Tech that game. Georgia Tech playing Atlanta. Both of them are ranked. Auburn is not. Nowhere near.
Maybe. I mean, that don't matter. Tuscaloosa ain't that far, especially for a private plane. Miss Terry will be there waiting on you. Don't worry about it. They'll get that figured out. You better win.
Alabama, what you can't do, I'm going to let you know right now. The next time y'all play Oklahoma, Kalen Dobert, if you still there, The next time y'all play Oklahoma, it probably won't be next year. It'll probably be the year after next or 2 years. Whatever. The next time y'all play, you can't lose to them. What Alabama will not allow you to do is go over against anybody. You go over against any team, they will fire you, no matter what you've done.
And they don't love you. The one thing they don't do is they don't love you, brother.
So, but shout out to Bama. I mean, Oklahoma beating Bama. And then, of course, we get to the absolute thorough drubbing of Georgia beating Texas 35-10. And I say drubbing, but it really was like a light switch because this game, Georgia looked dominant in the first half. They were up 14-3. And then Texas comes out and scores in the third quarter to make it 14-10. And Arch Manning and that offense started going. Texas choked this game away. Georgia is a better team, but Texas choked this game away. They had like 4 drops. And Ryan Wingo, that receiver, boy, if he could ever catch the ball, he'd be like a top 10 talent. He just can't catch the ball. They can't catch.
If you're a wide receiver and you can't catch the ball, I could understand. I'm sure you can understand how that could be a problem.
Yeah, and Georgia was just out way more physical. And then they did that when Kirby did that. So first of all, Georgia scores, take it 21-10. But Texas is rolling. They about to score again, even though they only scored because Gunner Stockton threw that interception. But then Georgia does the surprise onside and gets it. And then they go down and score again in like 3 or 4 plays to make it 28-10. That, ladies and gentlemen, was the backbreaker. And the defense, for all of them not getting a lot of sacks, they sure was making life difficult on Arch. They was making life difficult on Arch, and they just started teeing off. They were destroying them Texas wide receivers.
I hate to say it. Having Arch is not a gift and a curse. You can't bench him. You can't really get rid of him, but he's just not that good.
Yeah, he had a really bad pass. And Steve Sarkisian, again, I said Alabama is to Georgia what Georgia is to everybody else. You just can't beat them in the SEC with Kirby. And for whatever reason, Georgia can't beat Alabama with anybody, whoever's there. But Georgia owns Texas right now. I think they're now 3-0 against them in the last 2 years.
Texas got some soul searching to do. And I saw Desmond Howard say potentially there could be a mutual dissolution at the end of the season.
Between Steve?
Y'all. Yes, sir.
I told y'all. I said that at the beginning of the season. I said that before we had any kickoffs. I said, hey, Texas' job is going to have a lot of pressure because they are going to invest more into the NIL than any other team. And I don't know if that's true on the books, but y'all got to remember, Texas had their own network. They had ESPN, Longhorn Network. It was just them, right? So at that point, there's so much money invested. You can't go 3 years without winning a championship. Not at Texas. And so now you're potentially with Arch Manning that you just paid all the money for. Now you're potentially not going to the playoff. Let me tell you. And Steve Sarkisian already told y'all I'm trying to go to Tennessee for the Tennessee Titans. Already told y'all. So I'm letting you know. Y'all, and I'm telling y'all, and y'all said I was crazy. The reel is out there. Shout out to our TikTok. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe, follow, and subscribe to us on all social medias.
And if you talk crazy on the TikTok, I'll show up.
I'm gonna get to the little man. I'm gonna get to the little man on his little lunch break. But
I will show up via TikTok. I ain't playing with y'all.
I told y'all that Lane Kiffin.
And I talk crazy on TikTok.
Lane Kiffin. I was like, don't be surprised if Steve Sarkisian leaves. Don't be surprised if Lane Kiffin ends up at Texas. I said that. I said it, and it's out there.
Yeah.
And Ole Miss.
It's Yeah.
Negotiating
against the terrorists.
We'll get there. But Georgia beats Texas. So we can go on to the next game. They are pretty much a lock to get into the SEC to the playoff. Notre Dame beats Pitt. Julian Love put himself in the Heisman Trophy race with this performance. He looked
that boy hit circle on somebody and murdered him.
And then ran away from then pressed
right.
Push
me if you can. Right.
He's a monster, man. He looks good. He reminds me of Bijan a little bit.
Notre Dame is going to walk themselves back into playoffs.
Right
it
into
doesn't
the playoff.
matter what happens. The Catholic Church is going to protect them. They are. It's not even. I hate the luck of the Irish. It's not luck. You're imposing your will. That's what you're doing, and you're calling it luck, right? It blows my mind, the luck of the Irish, and you're doing everything.
You don't have to report nothing. You don't got to say how much money you pay, who you pay, when you pay, nothing. You ain't got to do nothing. You just got to be out there and have gold helmets.
You're on TV on NBC every week now. And it's
nobody's
like
conference but plays an ACC schedule.
And don't win Nathaniel. That's my only thing is win something sometimes. You know who wins for y'all? Your women's basketball team. That's who wins for you guys.
Quintuple double,
football team. Had. Right, she got her ass cut that next day though. Boy, it was 10 times terrible. But I mean, you know how that goes. Negative regression. It's gonna bounce back. We're done with Notre Dame. We'll see y'all in the playoffs per every other year since the beginning of time. There we go. Georgia Tech. Georgia
Tech. Hey, you were right. I'm gonna let you have this one because you said this on Saturday, and I was like, this game's gonna be over by the end of the first quarter, and
it was not.
Bill O'Brien said,
I said you got to watch them, and somehow, I mean, Georgia Tech also is notorious for kind of letting games out of control early and then spending the rest of the game fighting back to get it done. I don't think that's smart. I think that you're wasting a lot of your players' energy and health trying to fight back for the whole game instead of just beating somebody decisively and maybe getting some guys out on some reps. I mean, y'all also not the biggest, most physical team in the world either. It's just also very difficult to game plan against a team like you guys. And Haynes King, kid's good.
Why is he not in this? He's got to be in the Heisman Trophy.
Right.
He is. He's good.
He's got some Tebow charisma too, where it's like, okay, we might be struggling. Just get on my back and we'll get on. We'll get this win. And
one thing I can give Tebow credit for, it is the intangibles. I don't think anybody on this earth has the intangibles of Tebow. Not one. Let me tell you, Tebow will have you ready to go dedicate your life to the Lord. Told y'all, and shoot somebody at the same time.
That boy put that speech out, and and they bring you to tears. You like, we will not lose it as long as I'm here. Hey, now. Whoa.
And what you gonna say? And he be out there leading the charge, lifting weights at 2 a.m. in the morning. So yeah, I mean, but yeah, you're right though. Haynes King is nice, but you have to take advantage of this moment if you're Georgia Tech. First off, second off, hey, y'all better pay that man, Brent Key and Buster Oney. Y'all better pay them because if you don't, that little raise you gave them with that little extension, that little 1 year,
can be poached. You can be poached.
That SEC gonna be.
Sometimes right there with the money. You got to understand that everybody in the room has more money than you, and they might be able to take your gal. This is you.
Go ahead.
Now,
she asked you for some champagne. Go ahead and get it.
The thing is, she did say she down for you. They said if you cut me open, I bleed blue. So I'm rocking with you, but you should compensate that man in a way where he understands that he's appreciated and respected. That's what you should do.
Yeah, boy. If you don't, he's out of there. The Florida Jet was there this week.
And let me tell you, uniquely, all flights from Delta, go to Atlanta. It could be anybody, any week going to see your coach.
Oh, you think they was in Atlanta? They rode their private flight to PDK. They hit the middle. I can go to Athens and I can go to Atlanta. It don't matter where I am. They was right there covering. This is what you call covering all the bases. They was like, we can go to South Carolina.
Funny story.
We can go to Atlanta. We can go to
everybody. They called everybody. Hey,
and it's orange and blue plane. I'm gonna let you know I'm here from the sky. You can see me from the sky. So, yeah, man, y'all better pay that, man. Go ahead, USC beats. I'm on vibes right now.
We heard it. You know what that is. Yes, USC continues to win. I think that there's an outside opportunity they could possibly get into the playoffs. I have to look and see, but they continue to. It's like once there's no expectation, they felt more comfortable, and they found a way to consistently, quietly win. I think there's peace in not having stress. They're 8-2 for the season
on your schedule. Not having stress on your schedule. Is that what you're talking about?
No. They got Oregon this week.
Yeah, this week. That's about to end their contention. Before that, they had Notre Dame,
Illinois, Michigan, Notre Dame, Iowa.
Nope. Oregon. Not by Big Ten fans who said, "Hey, you are your record. It doesn't matter who you play." Nah, Illinois is trash, according to the Big Ten logic. Wins and losses only. It doesn't matter who you play.
Well, the other part is, I mean, they're both 6-1. Like at this point, USC, Oregon, Michigan, all 6-1 in the conference. And USC, if they, right? if USC beats Oregon, I don't know who. I think Ohio. See, this is what's terrible.
Indiana until
Ohio State.
Indiana's already there.
Ohio State is done, and Indiana, is done. They've
been done.
They only play one more game.
Yeah, it's Ohio State, and Indiana. Now, USC if they win out, will be interesting, but I don't think they're gonna be Oregon. I don't. I think Lincoln Riley is a dead man walking. I don't think he doesn't have the personality to be at USC, and he doesn't do nothing. Like
you can't fire him if he wins out, though. Hell no.
I don't think he's gonna be Oregon. I don't see them beating Oregon.
Even if they lose, if they go 8-3, if you fire Lincoln Riley after going 8-3 and being fourth in the Big Ten, and I mean, let's be real here. You're not as good as Ohio State. There's not going to be a coach right now that you can get where you can be as good as Ohio State.
Yes, you're thinking logically. But there's no you can say the same thing about Auburn. You ain't gonna get nobody. Who you gonna get at Auburn?
You can get somebody at Auburn. There are guys at Auburn.
You can get somebody at USC. You can get more than somebody at USC.
Yeah, but this is the thing. Auburn is looking to get back into being competitive. At this point, I mean, Auburn is trying to be competitive. USC is you're not better. You're not ready to be better than Ohio State. You're not ready to be better than Oregon. And Indiana ain't played nobody.
Well, neither is Oregon, other than Indiana.
Right.
So, I mean, and I think
Oregon.
I think Oregon could be had. I think Oregon could be had by USC.
You didn't even get the opportunity. It's not like he lost to them. The only team they lost to was Illinois and Notre Dame, who were both highly ranked when they lost to them. Those aren't their bad losses. That's one bad loss now. It's one playoff team and one bad loss. Really, you'll end up losing to two playoff teams. You have one bad loss.
You're thinking with an SEC brain. You're taking strength of schedule. Remember, strength of schedule doesn't matter to Big Ten fans.
What I'm not going to do is bet in my good common sense for people who are fools.
My head hurt. I'm going to post that too. I'm going to post our SplashCast versus the World conversation when we talked about strength of schedule for the SEC, for strength of schedule for the Big Ten. Please, and the fact that everybody else came and said wins and losses only matter. And I quote, hey, North Texas is 8-1. Are they the same as Ohio State? And they said yes. except for the Ohio State fan. Now, and he bullshitted, but he knew where I was going, but he bullshitted. And they said yes, because wins and losses matter, not who you play. It's in the screenshot. I got the screenshot. I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna post it because y'all crazy as hell.
Why?
But anyway, my bad.
Because we and in every like that's the reason you have power rankings. It's the reason we have all these things. I am not getting rid of my good common sense because other people won't use it. Not doing it. And here we are in two teams we really don't care about. Arizona 30 30 over 24.
I just called
Cincinnati.
That's why it's there.
Your season is over. I think we can confidently say since he's a scam.
Well, I mean, I don't know about scam. They're not as good as the upper echelon of the Big 12.
Yes. Yeah. I think that, yeah.
I mean, they were like 7-1, 7-2. What we were looking at here is at large. The at large bid. Like that's where they were going to be. Well, no, they weren't. But they were going to be close to it.
No. Ain't better than
anyway,
BYU.
Hey, shout out to y'all. It is.
Ain't better than Utah. Ain't better than
we
none
ain't got to
of
go
it.
through what you right, big dog. As soon as I thought about it, I said,
You know what?
Yeah.
It was not my best work. Speaking of not my
the
best
Bowl.
work.
Good Florida fan.
This is a tricky game. Florida actually played their ass off. We stuck with them until the very end and just did not have enough. And to be completely honest, it's a little tough of a loss because we had a bunch of guys hurt. And then we had people who are opting out because they didn't want to spend they couldn't have any more plays and still be redshirt. Going into what was it, 23 or 24 to 20. And then they scored 14 points in the fourth quarter and they won the game. Florida gave them hell for 3 quarters. It's the same thing. It's the same game. It's the same scenario all season. We can beat anybody. We can lose anybody. I think there's a lot of promise in this Florida team. I think that with the limited roster, I was very impressed with their, there was a couple opportunities where we could have won this game and just did not have enough to get it done. But I mean, we was up until the fourth. We lost it in the fourth quarter.
The Florida Gators remind me of the Atlanta Falcons. They need a coach. They had a terrible coach who built a fantastic, I'm not going to say the coach did, but Florida built a fantastic roster. James, is it Ball? I don't know if his name is James. Ball, number 13, is
a man.
I saw him run over 4 people to get 4 yards for a first down.
You remember Etienne? It's crazy. Like, we just have these guys, world beaters.
Yeah. And you have all of now you're going to have to replace a lot of the D-line because I think y'all got a lot of seniors on the D-line. Y'all got transfer players, seniors, but them wide receivers and that offense is intact. And that's why I said they kind of like the Falcons. If you could get somebody that can drive that car, which could be Lane. But I see the thing with Lane, I really do think that this would be a lateral. And I promise y'all, I think Lane's going to end up at Texas. If Sarkisian leaves, I think that's because the money's there. He's in the SEC West. He's going to end up at Texas.
I think that I can't say that Ole Miss to Florida is a lateral job. Florida has more resources than Ole Miss. So to me, I think that's an upgrade. And it's a higher notoriety job, but it's also a more pressurized job. That place has an expectation of a championship or being very competitive. And also, the basketball team just won a championship. I know people don't like to hear that or whatnot, but when you bring that championship culture to the school, people look at Todd Golden, and the Gators basketball team is still top 10. And we're one of those schools that they expect for the football team and the basketball team to be good. And if Todd Golden keeps looking good, they're going to look at you like, bro, why you ain't looking good? It's life.
Yeah, I ain't had a championship culture for
not the culture, not the
championship culture. Yes, he did.
Excuse me.
I quote.
Let me correct myself. Championship expectation. Maybe not the culture.
Y'all, with that expectation may be unwarranted.
Fair.
Y'all last championship was 2008.
Right? I agree with that. But what do we have? We have fans. Fans are fanatical. We didn't have the reasonables. They don't have those. The expectation, myself included, is: are we playing for a championship? Or are we going home? Those are the two options with Florida. And I've told you that for as long as we've been podding. I know you don't like that, but that's what it is.
Way longer than we've been podding. Y'all been doing that for 17 years.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the answer: is either you playing for a championship or you going home. Now, do I also say
that is perpetual disappointment?
It is.
That's unreasonable. That's unreasonable, especially at Florida. Y'all had Spurrier again. Y'all were spoiled by Spurrier because before Spurrier, y'all really wasn't. Oh yeah, Urban. Before Spurrier, y'all really wasn't nothing,
right?
And then after Urban, which Urban came right after Spurrier, right? Or no?
No, Zook.
No, because y'all had Zook and Charlie Strong and all of them folks. And then you got
Strong
Urban.
was an interim. He wasn't.
He was an interim who probably should have got the job. But
it was Zook, and I think it was one more person.
Y'all are like LSU. Like,
yeah, I think the LSU has an expectation to win a championship every year, too.
I think some of that is unreasonable. I think some of that's unreasonable.
But once you get a championship, once you get a championship or two, this is the second championship. The first championship, just happy to be here.
Got 3.
They got Les Miles,
Saban,
and
Ogeron.
It might be the third championship where you like, oh well, we are a championship team now because we've won, especially the first one. You like, that's the Auburn championship.
We just happy to be here. We finally got the monkey off our back.
We got in the club. You know how you are general admission.
I got my people with me.
You just got in the club. You don't have no money to drink. It ain't no
19.
section. Right. You just happy to be in there because you know who you could be. You could be South Carolina.
That's great. And now when you get the second one, you in the club. You got a section.
Yeah. No. Second championship. It gives you a bar stool. You at the bar now. So you drinking with
first name basis at the bar.
Right. Cool. Third championship. Oh, I got a section. And 4, 5,
you gotta get a section every time now, brother.
Yeah.
You can't show up
4, 5, 6. Go back to bar stool. Right. You got to be on the stage. Alabama is on the stage. Georgia is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Hey, bro. We're not even going through the front door. Come on through the back. You think I'm going through the front door?
Great. That is clipped. 1 hour.
You think I'm going through the front door? Like Auburn? Man, I know everybody in here.
All right, let's go to LSU. Because I'm trying to get this done in an hour.
Fair enough.
So we got 15
game?
minutes. So LSU versus Arkansas. I don't care about the game. Nussmeier was benched. The interim coach, and we need to find his name. If y'all have his name, put it in the chat. If y'all don't, by the time this comes out,
I'll get it right now.
I'm not gonna edit it, but hopefully we'll get his name because he's a black dude. He got his first win as the interim coach. And all of that doesn't matter because Brian Kelly and LSU are about to go to court because LSU is trying to fire him for cause by slandering his name.
Frank Wilson is the coach's name.
Frank Wilson. Shout out to Frank Wilson. Brian Kelly's about to go to court with, I guess, the state of Louisiana because they don't have an AD, nor do they have a coach. So I guess he's going to court with the court. Brian Kelly's going to court with the court of Louisiana against LSU because they're trying to fire him for cause, meaning that they don't want to give him the full buyout. And he's like, man, fuck y'all. I want the full buyout. and that's where we are in the state of LSU. Never mind that they beat Arkansas 23-22. And let me tell you, everybody in Baton Rouge feels like this is unacceptable. Unacceptable.
Oh, well, let me tell you, LSU, you not the biggest Brian Kelly fan. I'm also not a Brian Kelly hater, though. Being fired after losing to Ole Miss, a Vandy team on Superpowers, Texas A&M, and then Alabama.
Now that is the expectation. Like, that's expectation. But also, you're Brian Kelly. You're expected to do that because you came from Notre Dame.
Cool story. And I'm okay-ish with the firing. But
they fired him because they don't like him. That's really why they fired him.
With that being said, the firing itself is done terribly. This has been awful since the beginning. Y'all mismanaged this. I don't think that I think that y'all need to pay him everything and court fees, lawyer fees, time, and I think that he probably will get it. Also, if you're the state of Louisiana, pay the money for him to go away. This is only making your school more and more embarrassed as the days go by.
No, MAGA. That's a MAGA state. Y'all, I want y'all utter chaos. Y'all taxpayers don't want to pay for anything else. Y'all pay for the football coach. Now y'all wondering where the tax money go. You ain't wanted to go to North Baton Rouge. You ain't wanted to come over there to Scotlandville. Nope.
You know what y'all should do? Get that money from Brett Favre.
Get that money from Southern Miss because they're going to
pay that again. Pay that money, Brett. I'll never forget. Hey, pay that money, Brett.
They lost to a HBCU this weekend. They definitely about to steal some more. Shout out to, but LSU did win. All right, so now Norwood's driving right now because I'm not even looking at the keys. This is what I call best of the rest. Miami beats North Carolina State 41-7. North Carolina State threw a pick 6 on their first pass of the game. I'm sorry, and that told me everything I needed to know what was about to happen. This is trick bag. Nobody cares. And I told y'all about Carson Beck. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, where are they ranked now?
Out. Actually, with all of these, we're really about to find out. By the time this comes out, the college football rankings will be out. But I believe Miami is going to be like 14. And now that you're benefiting from losing early, although Auburn losing to Oklahoma and Florida State may be better than Miami losing to SMU and Louisville. So I think Alabama probably falls down to, I said Auburn, I meant Alabama. Alabama probably falls down to like 13. Maybe 12.
Louisville and SMU, such trash losses.
Egregious. SMU is egregious. I think they have a losing record.
So funny. No, 7-3, third in the ACC, 5-1 in the conference, 7-3 overall. Yeah, one loss team like Georgia Tech, Virginia, and Pitt. Tough. This is a precarious place because I also believe that if they get to the playoffs, then the Carson Beck money is worth it.
Yes, because they haven't made it. That, I mean,
return on investment. Yeah, and I know
you're not wrong.
It's not how people probably envisioned it. I think they just thought, I mean, because this is the other part, even with the way that you did it, you should really realistically, you should be undefeated right now. You should be looking at a bye. So on one hand, you underperformed, but on the other hand, hey, you got us
close to being in the ACC.
Right. You know, you got to take what you can get.
Yeah, I mean, and speaking of the ACC, you're right, man. I mean, Virginia, and listen, I didn't believe in myself when I said it, so this is kind of like a hollow I told you so. But y'all know I'm going to tell y'all I told you so. I said, hey, Virginia beat Florida State on Friday. They only have one loss right now. I said they only have one loss total. And they're now 6-1 in the ACC. I think they're like 9-2 overall.
Yeah, everybody's one loss. Georgia Tech 6-1, 9-1. Virginia 6-1, 9-2. Pitt 5-1, 7-3. SMU 5-1, 7-3. So, you're going to look at the overall schedule right now. You got Georgia Tech and Virginia as the top of the ACC.
Which is interesting because if they play in the ACC championship game with Georgia Tech and Virginia, I'm gonna hope that Georgia Tech loses to Georgia. So I think the ACC champion gets a automatic bye.
Yeah, correct.
I believe because it's the top 4. No, they might not actually. SEC, Big 10, Big 12. ACC. Yeah. ACC. So they're gonna get a first round bye more than likely. Or if Georgia beats Georgia Tech and then Georgia Tech wins the ACC, Georgia will probably get that bye. Even though they don't win the conference championship, which would be more butthurt for the ACC. They would be big mad. But I told y'all Virginia was good enough to make things interesting. And they keep making things interesting. Remember, Duke was 4-1 in the ACC too when they played this game. And Duke got smoked. Smoked this game. So this is going to be interesting. I think we already talked about Louisville, but you can go to Louisville now. Louisville lost to Clemson in a win that I don't care about. I mean, shout out to Clemson, I guess. Whatever. Louisville, you dropped the ball. You had a moment to seize and you didn't do it.
Burn it down. Clemson. And now, you know what, Clemson? Extend Dabo. Extend him. He's the best coach y'all ever had. Y'all clearly happy with these results. I don't got nothing for you. This is paradise. Continue to party. We're going to move on now.
Paradise. Big 12. Texas Tech, BYU, and Utah roll. Oh no, we're going to Big 10. Okay. Oregon smokes Minnesota. I said that they sunk the boat. Minnesota likes to row the boat. Oregon, number 8, 9-1, with the only loss to the number 2 team being Indiana. You would think with them being 9-1 that they would be ranked higher, but it's the Big 10. They just don't play anybody else. That's why they're ranked so low as a one-loss team, because they just don't play anybody.
And as a fan, I actually enjoy watching more football games. The Big 10 doesn't actually give you that many games that you're like, you know what, I really want to watch this game. And then it becomes a waste.
I don't say a waste, but I mean, they just get to sleepwalk. They get to sleepwalk to November, essentially.
I mean, what I'm saying is for us, it's not something you want to watch. It's not like, oh, let me watch one of these Big 10 games. It's already at noon. That ain't great. Then I have to watch
self-sabotage.
Games. Yeah.
They're Midwest Conference and they have to play at 11 a.m.
Right. That's the other part. You're right. You Central Standard Time, bro. You already out.
That's tough. Michigan gets the W. They kind of, they beat Northwestern. I know.
Barely.
Cool. But they're 8-2 and they have one loss in the conference. And if they keep winning, which I think they have 2 more weeks to play, they could beat Ohio State and be in the Big 10 championship game with Bryce Underwood, who has like 1,000 yards passing.
I'm not concerned about a team that just went to the wire with Northwestern.
They're 6-1. And they play the number 1 seed Ohio State. If they win, you have to put them. First of all, they play Indiana. They could. I never would have seen. Of course, Ohio State and Indiana cruise. I never would have seen Michigan making the playoff this year. That would be commendable to Sharon, to the rules team, rules committee.
You're gonna get stomped, and then it's gonna be like, oh, you guys don't deserve to be here. The time that you were here, what happened? You cheated. There is also almost more grace in just losing in silence than playing against a team and getting thrown out of the club, which there is a high probability. That's one thing that
they're gonna make them play Alabama again.
Right. And the committee is also, I think that they're going to be, I dare say, a tad bit malicious about making sure that y'all get the toughest competition because you cheated last time. And then you did all the positioning when it was time for the suspensions. Not the big games. Oh, when we play West Middle of Nowhere, that's when we'll have the coach not be there, and we'll have Biff Poggi be the head coach. Mm-hmm. It's surely something. It's interesting. And I mean, not to me, honestly. That's a lie. That was disingenuous. It's some bullshit. And go ahead, win so you can get embarrassed. It's not my problem. I don't respect you or your conference, especially not you guys. Michigan specifically. At least Ohio, because at least Ohio State, like, you won, and for what we know to be fair and square. The only championship Michigan got, you cheated.
Yep. But, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of the college football segment of episode 207 of the SplashCast. I told y'all, Big Ten fans, y'all are irrational. And that was on display. But we're going to take a break.
Been on display. It's special.
Well, my thine eyes were open this weekend when I had that conversation. I said, Jesus Christ, y'all are out of y'all mind. I had to call you. I said, hey, did you read what they said? They said strength of schedule works, but North Texas and Ohio State are the same team.
Probability, I said, strength of schedule, very simple, basic topics, just abandoned for
immediate. Immediate abandonment. As soon as you say, hey, but what about this? Don't matter. Ohio State's number one.
Right.
Don't matter. I was like, y'all arguing about a 5-3 team. Well, the 3 teams they lost to was Texas A&M, Alabama, and Ole Miss.
Y'all play any teams that good? Oh, none. You couldn't find. That is where I need them to figure out how they're going to figure this system out, and I think that's the reason they probably go to 16 teams or 24 teams. Is then you don't have
the Big 12. I vote against everything. Don't expand nothing. Don't change nothing. My teams are good enough to win in August and then sleepwalk until November. I ain't got nothing in between.
You mean the Big 10 or Big 12? Or kind of both, a little bit.
No, the Big 12, at least they listen. At least they excited. But either way, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of college football.